What up, y'all? Welcome to this week's episode of Chiquis and Chill. Thank you all for tuning in. And believe me, you're going to want to listen to this episode because let me introduce myself as Janae Sanchez. Woo woo! I'm a married woman now, you guys. I am married and I want to talk to you guys about everything. Well, not everything, but most of everything that happened in my wedding. So let's get started. Okay, guys. So yes, I am now Janae Sanchez. And yes, I'm going to change my last name. That is one of the biggest questions that I have been getting the past few days. Are you going to change your last name? Are you going to hyphen it? No, I'm going to change it, you guys. I'm just waiting for the marriage certificate and I'm going to go with it because he deserves it. And that's it. And I'm happy to do that. And I can't wait. I'm actually thinking if I should add a middle name since I don't have a middle name. But that's a conversation I have to have with my husband. Oh my God, husband. That's so crazy still. It's so weird, like coming out. I don't know. It's beautiful, but it feels like just foreign, obviously. But anyways, I'm very proud. So I'll keep you guys updated on when I change my name and if I decide to do a middle name or not. And I'm not going to say the middle name yet until I figure that out. But I have the idea already. I already know what I want. So yes, I am changing my last name. And now talking about that, now that I am a married woman, let me tell you guys a little bit about the wedding. We got married in Vegas. I'm sure you guys have seen some videos, a little bit of footage on social media, but it was in Vegas. And I wanted it very small and intimate and very close, just family. It was just going to be family, very immediate family. And then it just started trickling into like really close friends. And then I just had to like stop it at a point because it was just getting out of control. And what Emilio and I wanted the most was like not to spend a lot of money. We wanted it to be very intimate so we didn't feel overwhelmed on our day. Because usually when you have events or you have parties, like you're hosting and you have to go say hi and you never get to enjoy the damn party. And that's one thing that was very important to Emilio. He's like, I want to enjoy my wedding day. I want you to enjoy it. I want to enjoy you. I want us to be present. And it was exactly that. It was so perfect, you guys. So beautiful. It was hot as hell in Vegas. It was like 108, I believe. But the days prior to that, it was like 118, 120. So I was really scared. We did decide to have, because it was like, July and it was going to be very hot. I wanted a evening ceremony. So we did get married at 7:00. Of course, I was late. Okay. I didn't want to be late, but I was late. And then I was so stressed out because I was going to be late. But then I was like, Emilio knows who he's marrying. Like he knows I'm not like this inconsiderate person that's like, okay, I'm late and I want to be late and F everyone. That's not who I am, you guys. If I'm late, it's always because something happens. Like it's just honestly, I'm not even like lying. So yes, I was 10 minutes late to my wedding. And I felt really bad because I kept thinking about the guests. I was like, they're sitting outside. It was like poolside, you guys. It was like about 80 people. And it was only supposed to be 50 and it became 80. So I was worried about the guests. I was worried about Emilio in his suit. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to be hot. So anyways, just moments before, I think like I was calm the entire day. Emilio and I, it was my idea. I told him, look, let's not sleep in the same room the night of the wedding so that we can miss each other. So I got a room at a separate hotel. And he wasn't too happy about the idea, but he went with it. And I think it was really nice that we did that because we spent a few days, or should I say a couple days together, and we went to the spa the day before the wedding and we like hung out and we drank a tiny bit, not a lot, because we're like, we want to be fresh and feel fresh. So the day of the wedding, I woke up in my room, he woke up in his, and the whole thing was, we're just going to text each other, good morning, and I'll see you at the altar. And that's basically what we did. He texted me first and he was like, good morning. I can't wait to marry you. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you. It's so cute. And then I responded. I said, good morning, my love. I'm excited. Can't wait for you to be my husband. And I'll see you at the altar. And then I sent him 2 songs. And the 2 songs were I'll Meet You at the Altar by, I forgot the name of the damn group. It just completely, I drew a blank. Meet me at the altar with your white dress. That song, right? And then I sent him the Shania Twain song, You're Still the One I Love, da, da, the only one I dream. That song. I'm sure you guys have heard it. So I sent him those 2 songs. And then after that, silence. And mind you, Emilio's the type of man that asks me at least every hour. Babe, are you good? What are you doing? Are you hungry? Did you eat? Do you want me to send you a coffee? He's so attentive. And I am with him too. Like, hey, babe, I love you. I miss you. Even after like 3.5 years, you guys, like we're like that. And I hope it stays that way. God, please bless our marriage. I could just keep praying that because I know it's not going to be easy, but I just love what we have built together. So I just want it to last. So anyways, going back to my story. So we didn't talk at all. I went to the spa. I got a facial. He worked out. He went to breakfast with a couple of friends. And I was calm. I started writing my vows. He bought us these books, you guys, because I was like, okay, I'm just going to write my vows like I do everything else on my notes in my phone. But Emilio's like, absolutely not. You are not going to walk up to the altar with your phone in your hand. So I was like, okay. So he bought us these cute little vow books because he's like, let's write them in here and keep them forever. And I said, okay. His was black, mine was white. So I started writing my vows. I prayed, I meditated, and it was just still not coming out. So I was like, let me go to the spa, get in the jacuzzi, like relax. So when I came back, I had a really nice lunch, because I was like, I'm not going to eat. I want to look really cute in my dress. And all my friends were like, you better eat. You need to eat. So on the day of my wedding, I ate a little salmon with some spinach. I did get a chocolate cake. I had a little bit. So I had a very, very nice breakfast, which wasn't really breakfast. It was like at 1:00. So anyways, that was my only meal. And then I started writing my vows and I wrote them in my damn phone, right? And then everything started going really quickly because then I wanted to change my nails. And the nail lady took a little long. She was wonderful though. So sweet. But it took a little long to take off my gel X and like the whole thing, give me a manicure. So it took honestly 3 hours. So that took a lot of my time. So that's when I started getting a little antsy. And then hair and makeup, you guys. Hair was there. He started, because he was waiting on me to finish my nails. He started Janica's hair, my sister. And makeup, you guys, her flight was delayed 2 hours. That's kind of when I was like, okay, I'm just going to breathe. I was like, okay, worst case, I'll do my own makeup or Janica will help me do my makeup. So anyways, makeup was supposed to start at 3:30. My makeup artist did not get there till 5 because all of the flights were being canceled because it was so damn hot in Vegas. So the more heat, the more turbulence, this whole thing, right? So anyway, she made it. And my sister Janica, well, we got a little worried. So Janica started kind of doing my eyes and trying to help me because I was kind of getting a little antsy. And I was like, oh my God, everything's delaying. I have to be out there at 6:30 and I still have to write my vows from my phone to my book. So I started freaking out. So anyways, I sat there, she got there, we got hair and makeup ready, everything was good. And I was about to walk out and I had almost forgot. Well, mind you, I forgot the ring. That's another thing. The ring I bought Emilio, I forgot it. We left to Vegas and Emilio's like, hey, we got the ring. And I'm like, oh my God, your ring. I freaking left it. So I had Janica, my sister. Thank God she was leaving a little later than we did. So she picked it up for me. So that's one thing. So anyways, then going back to my story, hair and makeup was done. I started putting on the dress and I'm like, oh my God, my vows. I had completely forgot, you guys. And I was like, I cannot walk with my phone. He'll be pissed. So the last hour around 6:00, that's when I started kind of getting really antsy. I was like, I have to get dressed. We still have to take pictures here. The photographer was there. My nieces were there. It was really, really beautiful. And you guys are going to see all the details in my docufollow. But anyways, it was beautiful. But I started getting antsy. And that's when I started feeling very nervous. Not scared to get married. It was just like, oh my God, I need my person. The only person that calms me down is Emilio. And I was freaking out. And I wanted to make sure that I did what he wanted for us, to transfer my vows from my phone to the book that he bought us. So that's what made me late because it was so important. And you guys, this is what I mean. Phones are taking over our lives because I don't remember anyone's phone number but his. That's the only number that I know. And he made me memorize it because he's like, Janae, if your phone dies one day, who the hell are you going to call? Because I know no one's number, only his. And that's only because he told me I had to memorize it. But you guys, I am not used to writing. In my notes, my vowels seem so short and cute. And I was like, damn, do I need to add more? Thank God I didn't, because when I went to transfer them, it took forever. My hand was hurting and I was like, oh my God, this is so long. I was like, oh my God, I'm not used to using my hands to write. That's insane, you guys. I told myself I need to start journaling more and writing because I do everything on my notes. I love reading actual books, physical books. But when it comes to journaling, I do everything on my phone and I'm just like, no, this cannot happen. And that's why it took so damn long. And that's why I was 10 minutes late. And that's why I was freaking out. But anyways, I get out there. I'm already bawling. I see my brother Mikey and I'm like, brother, oh my God, I'm marrying my best friend. I can't wait to see him. I'm freaking out. He's the only one that calms me down. Like, that's when I started just freaking out. I just want to see him. I just want to fall into his arms. As I was walking from my room to the altar, I was like, dude, I just want to lay in bed with him. Oh my God. And like, we're going to have dinner and all this stuff. And I was like, I just want to lay with him. I just want to lay with him. I'm feeling so overwhelmed. And he's the only one that calms me down. And that's how I know I'm like, this is my fucking person. This is the person I'm meant to be with. And as soon as I saw my brother and I was like, brother, you look so handsome. And I was telling him how he's going to walk me down the aisle because we didn't rehearse any of this. This was all, no, we didn't have a dinner rehearsal. I didn't have any, damas. How do you call the damas? The bridesmaids. I didn't have a maid of honor. My sisters were basically my maid of honors because they were there with me. But it wasn't like something we talked about, or my brothers even. The day of, I said, hey guys, you guys are walking me down the aisle, just FYI. I was like, Mikey, you're going to start and then you're going to take me to Johnny, and then Johnny, you're going to take me to Emilio. And that's how it happened. As soon as I saw my brother Mikey, we were talking and I was just telling him, I love him, dude. Like, I love him. And I just started crying. I was already crying before I even started walking. And I still couldn't see him. And then he took me to Johnny. And then I was just like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. The first thing I told Emilio when I saw him was, I missed you so much. And I was crying. And he was just like, I know, me too. It was so beautiful, you guys. And the vows were amazing. I'm so proud of both of us. And that was like, I think the biggest compliment they gave us. Our guests were like, oh my God, the vows. So many people were crying. I think you could just feel the love. And it was so peaceful after that. After he was holding my hand and I was looking into his eyes. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm good now. Okay, cool. I feel excited about the rest of the day because walking there, I wasn't. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's going to be such a long day. I was just being like, just a baby. But then everything just went so fun after that. And I don't want to give too many details because I want you guys to see everything on the docu-follow because my docu-cameras were there. But again, it was a very small crowd. And it was a very special ceremony. It was so beautiful, exactly like what I wanted and I dreamt of, even better, I think, than what I had imagined, especially because we both love water. So there was like a piece of like water. It was like a jacuzzi, small pool situation. And we both love that. And it was just beautiful. It was perfect. It wasn't overly decorated. I wanted the flowers to be white. I wanted to be very simple. I wanted my dress to be timeless. And I think we nailed it. Like my designer, I told her exactly the kind of fabric I wanted. I was like, I want it to look like cake. I don't know how else to explain it, but like not a fondant cake, like a butter cream cake, like very silky and just delicious. And it was amazing. And I was very worried, you guys, because after the miscarriage, I hadn't gotten my period and I was feeling very bloated. My hormones still aren't leveled. So I've been feeling very bloated. And like my last two shows, like I could see it in my wardrobe. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's my hormones. My body's still trying to get back to normal. And I'm wearing white. So I was very nervous. But I was like, you know what? Even when it came down to it, my dress, because I was worried about it not fitting, it fit perfectly. And I didn't care. I was just like, whatever. I'm marrying my like homeboy. This is my homie. This is my man. This is my best friend. Like, whatever. He loved me when I was 76 pounds heavier. So we're fine. And even that, I didn't care. I was just happy. It was beautiful. After that, we went to take pictures. Then we had a dinner, and the dinner was fantastic, amazing. This is what I meant by I wanted it to be small and intimate because I was able to go to everyone's table and not feel overwhelmed and just see my friends and family and tell them that I love them and that I appreciate them being there. And I was having a drink and we're having a good time, and I changed. I had 3 changes, but I only ended up doing 2. And then after the dinner, we went to a club, and that was so fun. Had a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And then, guys, check this out. After the club, around 2:00, I was already feeling buzzed. So my husband was like, we got to go. I was like, okay, cool, let's go. We get in the elevator. I was one of the first ones to get on. So I didn't realize how many people were getting on the elevator. There were 20 people in the elevator. Don't ever do that, you guys. We got stuck in the elevator. Yes, we did. For 2.5 hours, we were stuck in the elevator. I had to relax because Emilio, he does suffer from anxiety. So I said, okay, I'm going to relax. I can't freak out because at first I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I was like, okay. And I thought it twice. And I'm like, okay, something's happening. I was like, but I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to stay calm because Emilio's mom was also in the elevator with us, you guys. I was like, oh my God, if I'm not calm, he's going to freak out because there were people freaking out. Again, it was all people I knew. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. Mind you, it's super freaking hot in Vegas. The music is blasting, okay? Blasting for like an hour until we were like, please turn off the music because it's driving us nuts. Because we were trying to talk, people were freaking out. It was just too much. We were like so overstimulated. It was insane. Anyways, Emilio cracked open the door, him and one of our security guards. And then I think that's when more people started calming down because we started getting a little bit of air. But yeah, that's what happened, guys. So it's going to be definitely a day and a night to remember and a wedding to remember because we could have died on our wedding day. Thank God we didn't. And thank God everyone's safe. They had to rescue us out of the damn elevator, you guys, from, the elevator shaft. And they put like a helmet on us and they put this whole thing and like we had to get out one by one. So by the time we got out of there, it was 4:30 in the morning. So that is our story. We're going to be able to tell people. Now it's a little funny, but when we were in there was a moment where I was like, God, okay, let's talk a little bit, Lord. Because I was meditating. I was like, okay, I was chill. I was like, I honestly was chill because I always know God is going to come through. But I did say, look, Lord, like I still have a lot of things I want to do. And I just got married and I don't want to go out like that. And I was like, God, you got this. So that's when everything switched and I was like, okay, we're going to be fine. But it did feel eternal. And it's a good thing, I guess, to tell our children or our child, because I think we're only going to have one or whatever God wants. And the next day, I think we both woke up like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? And we were like in our heads, but I had to shake it off because I was like, no, this is our wedding. Our wedding was so beautiful. I don't want us to just remember the damn elevator event. So I was like, no, we have to get up and celebrate life because at the end of the day, God allowed us to live today and let's go to the pool and have fun. And we did that and we continued with our celebration and it was wonderful. And it's just something to add to our story. Like Kimberly, Anel, my assistant who you guys met here on the podcast already, the next day she was just laughing because she wasn't on the elevator. She went to sleep. She's like, hey guys, I'm not going to Dre's if that's okay. So she wasn't there with us. But she did say, she's like, I think it's just really funny. Like within 5 hours, you guys had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows all in one day. And I'm like, yeah. It was after I was like, okay, I can laugh a little bit. So anyways, that is what happened after the festivities of the wedding. Now we can talk a little bit about certain details. There are people that, yes, did get their invitation only a few days before. And others did know, like our immediate family, for about a few months before. Not on purpose, you guys. I was just so busy and so overwhelmed with life and work. I tend to do that. I kind of procrastinate in that aspect where, again, I deal with things or things that I have to do the week of. I'm like, okay, this week I got to do this, this, and this, and that. So some people did get the invitation a little late. And yes, some others didn't get the invitation at all. And it's not because I didn't want them there. It's because it was just a different type of ceremony and wedding. And it was, again, meant for family only. And then it just started kind of getting a little bit bigger. And we are planning on having a more religious wedding in the near future. And those people will be invited, other people that are still very important to us that we love. But because we had this idea of having a celebration later, we just kind of like, said we'll invite them then. And people were asking who made my dress, and her name is Cindy Avar. I don't even think I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, but she was awesome. She made all 3 dresses. She made me 3 veils. She made me 2 robes that I didn't even ask for. She gifted me the robes, which was like for me to get ready, and then one for like, for consummating the wedding, which was really cute. And she also made my mother-in-law's dress and my grandmother, Emilio's grandmother, who's now like my grandmother who I've adopted, her like outfit. So cute. And we did have cake, you guys. We had a strawberry cake, which is so weird because usually I'm more of like, we both love funfetti type of cake or chocolate cake, or Emilio loves vanilla. But we went with a strawberry cake. We had a tasting. And we went with a strawberry cake, which was so weird because Emilio doesn't even really like strawberries, but he loved the cake. The cake was so freaking delicious and very simple. I wanted everything very simple. just very classy and elegant. And again, timeless is like the only word that I kept like thinking of. I'm like, I want everything to be timeless. And the cake was so pretty. And we did the whole thing where he's feeding me cake and I fed him cake. It was just really cute. And I think my favorite moment of the entire wedding, I'd have to say, was when I saw him. When I just was like, oh, there's my safe haven. I'm like freaking out. And the only one that could just tell me everything's going to be okay is him. And I was just like, oh, it was just that moment of relief of like, oh my God, I can breathe again. And I miss him because I missed him. I really did. Like, it might sound silly. We didn't sleep together one night and we didn't really like talk for hours. It was just a lot. That's how I knew this is it. This is the person for me. Like, I really enjoy my time with him. He doesn't bore me. He's my favorite person to be around. Everything I said in my vows, which you guys will hear one day, is absolutely what I felt. I wanted it to be 100% honest. And it was. So I'm like, he's my favorite travel buddy. He's my favorite human. Like, I don't get bored. And I think that's why it's my favorite moment, was because when I saw him, I wasn't crying because I was getting cold feet. I wasn't crying because I was scared or nervous, or I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be married. I'm committed. Like I'm like, can't do anything in my life. Like, no, like we had these conversations prior to our wedding, like what I wanted, what he expected as well in a marriage. And I didn't feel pressured in any way. It was just, I miss this person. I love this person. Like, I cannot wait to marry them. So it was just so amazing. And a lot of people are asking me, because I should be on my honeymoon right now. And they're like, why aren't you on your honeymoon? Like, people think that I'm off social media because I'm not on social media right now. People think that it's because we're on our honeymoon. And that's not true. I have a lot of work. I actually had a lot of work the Monday after my wedding, but I had to cancel it because I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm a little sick. I got sick. My throat has been acting funny. And I think it was just, I was dealing with the cough the day before the wedding. And then I think it just got worse because of the heat and then going into the hotels and the whole thing. So it's just like, I think once I got back home, I was in like my comfort and I let like my guards down. And my body was just like, okay, you need to chill. You've been drinking and partying and you know what I mean? And you had a lot of fun. And my immune system just, took a toll, but I'm better. So we're not on our honeymoon. We want to take a honeymoon at the end of the year. And I think we have decided to do Asia. We were between Asia or Europe. And I think we're going to do somewhere in Asia. We actually have to finalize that soon. But we're definitely going to do a honeymoon and practice making children. We're having a lot of fun in that aspect. And now, like I told my pastor and I was telling, I don't remember who, I was like, you guys, we're not fornicating anymore. Like we're having great sex and it's awesome. So now we're having married sex. Does it feel the same, my love? Does it feel better or no? Yeah, he put 2 thumbs up, you guys. All right, we're good. He's in the living room. Because today I'm doing the podcast, you guys, from my home. And what else? What else can I tell you guys? Oh, yes. My mother. I don't know if you guys noticed in the pictures that I posted on Instagram, but on my bouquet of flowers, mi ramo, I had a picture of my mother. And I walked down the aisle with a very special song. And we've talked about this song on the podcast, I think in the first season. It's a song by Sade, and it's called By Your Side. And it's one of my favorite songs. And let me tell you a little bit about this song, because when I was going through it very heavily in 2013, I was driving Johnny to school and I was feeling very sad, but I wanted to be very strong. And I was just very overwhelmed and I was just like very sad and depressed and very angry during that time, as you guys know and I've expressed here. And when I dropped Johnny off at school, as soon as I dropped him off, I don't know how, by the glory of God, the grace of God, I did not get in an accident because I was driving my mom's Mercedes that day because Johnny loved to go in that particular car because that's the car that my mom would take him to school in, and he would love listening to The Wave because that was my mom's favorite 94.7 The Wave. That one. That was my mom's favorite station. So that was like a little thing that we had. Let's go in the Mercedes. I'll drop you off at school and we'll listen to The Wave. So as soon as I dropped off Johnny, I was crying. I was a freaking mess. I was just having one of those moments of like, I don't know if I can continue on. Like, I'm just devastated in my life. And I was praying and I was like, Mom, talk to me. Like, I need to hear from you. Like, guide me. Give me a sign. And my mom was a huge Sade fan. And I knew of Sade because of my mom. And all of a sudden, that song came on. And I feel like the times that I've talked to my mom or when I feel my mom is through music. So I felt, and I took that as a sign, because if you guys listen to that song and you break it down, it was like, I'm here. I'm by your side. You think I'm going to leave you? Like, I'm here. So I was just like, after that day, that song meant so much to me. And every time I would listen to it, I would just cry or would give me hope of like, she's here with me. So that's why I chose that song. But not only because of that, it was kind of like my mom walking me down the aisle as well. And I had her picture, but also because Emilio dedicated me that song. So to me, it was like a sign of when he dedicated me that song, he didn't know that my mom had from heaven dedicated me that song. And that's how I took it. Right. And when he dedicated me that song, I was like, oh my God, like in that moment, I felt like this is the guy. I think my mom sent him to me. And I don't know if I ever even told Emilio that, but that's how I felt. And it was like confirmation, like, oh my gosh, this guy's special. He's not just another guy. And that's why I walked down the aisle with that song. And I definitely did feel my mom. I felt her more in the room when I was getting ready, when I saw my sisters and they were there. I felt her there. I felt like she's here with me, and my nieces were there. It was such a beautiful moment, you guys. Like my nieces were helping me, Jayla, who's now 15 years old, gonna be 15, helping me put on my shoes. It was just beautiful. And I felt my mom there. And of course, when I heard the song, I felt like she was walking me down the aisle because that's how I had planned it. And it was just so perfect, you guys. I wouldn't change a thing, not even the elevator thing, because I feel like even the whole elevator event, just like I felt safe because Emilio was there. And I was like, okay, he's here. Like he's the most important person in my life, and Jenica was there. I was freaking out because I wish Jenica hadn't been there. Because then my whole thing of like Mama Bear and Big Sister want to like protect her. I was just like, I need you to get off the elevator first before me because I'm not going to get off this elevator with you still in here. So I made sure, take her off before me, take Emilio, take them because I know myself. So I forced both of them to get out of the elevator before I did. That's just the motherly person I am, I guess. I don't know, call it what you will. But even that whole elevator situation, I feel like it just really confirmed to me this is the person and we're stuck together. We're stuck together forever. It was almost like that thing that kind of like solidified the whole day. And we went through it together. And I'm so glad that we were together and he wasn't alone or I wasn't alone. The elevator, like he wouldn't have allowed it anyways. Like he's always like protecting me and taking care of me and making sure I'm fine. But even with that, guys, it was the most beautiful day of my life. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that God sent me this person and a person that I can count on. And something that I will share with you guys in my vows, I said, thank you for loving me like no one else has ever loved me, not even my parents. And I really mean that. And I know that might sound weird, but I asked my sister Jackie the other day after the wedding and I said, look, I said this in my vows because I know people heard it because the microphone was amazing. So all the guests heard my vows. They heard our vows like clearly. And I said, I don't know, did the kids, my siblings, did they mention anything? Did I offend you guys? I don't mean to offend you or to take anything from mom because I know my mom loved me. I know she did. I know she didn't know how to show it sometimes because I was the eldest and we were so close in age. But the love that I'm experiencing right now, I feel like God sent it to me so that I can really believe and know what real love feels like because he's been very patient. Even in my ugliest moments, he's been very patient and loving and gentle. And, sometimes I'm not saying he's never like gotten crazy or anything like that. Like we're all human. But I want to say 90% of our relationship, he has been very gentle and diligent and that stability that my life needed. And the love that he shows me, I've never experienced where it's like, it's just beautiful. I don't want to get into details, but like, it's just a beautiful thing that I'm experiencing. And my dad, I'm sure he loves me and loved me when I was little and things happened there. but I can't explain it. Like this is a different type of love, and I really truly mean that. And without offending anybody, because my mother was a great mother. She wasn't a perfect mother, but she was the perfect mother for me, who I needed. And now I have the perfect man for me. I'm not perfect, he's not perfect, but it's that person that just came to really give me hope and for me to believe in love again and in marriage, because I didn't for so long, because I was let down. I felt let down, and he has helped me heal, because that's another thing. I was very honest with him, like, hey, I'm not doing good when we first met, and he has helped and said, I want to help you. You don't have to do this alone. And he's never once abandoned me. And I've had a lot of abandonment issues because of my childhood and things that have happened. So that's what I meant. And not that I feel like I have to explain myself, because I really don't care what anyone thinks besides my siblings, really. But I just wanted to explain it because I just hope that everyone can find that type of love one day, because we do deserve that. And I, for so long, felt that maybe I don't deserve this person because I am so jaded. I have so many things I have to work through. And now I know that I do deserve it, that it's heaven sent, and it's going to be work. And we both have to put in our part, and I'm willing to do it. And there's no other person that I would love to do this with. I just wish that for everyone. I hope that everyone can find that and really experience that and give themselves a chance to love and to love again, and not give up on love, even if you've been hurt, and if you've been cheated on, and if you've been lied to, and if you've also been the person to hurt other people. Like, we deserve to be loved no matter what and experience this, but we have to be open to it, and we have to be willing to do the work, our own internal work, so that we can attract who we want to attract. And I think that we both were in that space in our life where we were working on ourselves, and now we can work on ourselves together and for each other. And that's what it is. And it took me a long time to understand that. And I know it won't be perfect, but it's okay. I am willing to put in the work, and I know he is too. And that's all there is to it, guys. So yeah, that is my story. And yeah, just wanted to take a little sigh, because I really wish I can go back to that moment. It was so fun. But I'm also glad to be home, because I'm pretty Vegased out. It was a lot of days in Vegas, and I can only do like maybe 3 days in Vegas max. But it was awesome. It was beautiful. It was perfect. And I just wanted to share that with my listeners here on Chiquis and Chill, because I know you guys would appreciate it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being interested in my love life and in my marriage now. And all I can ask for is for you guys to continue to pray for us, to pray for me, for our marriage. And I will, of course, do my best to pray for all of you and wish you all well, and continue this podcast and hopefully inspire you and empower you all through all of the different things that we speak about here on this podcast. So thanks again for listening. And I love you guys. And share this episode with someone you love. All right, guys? Besitos. Do you need advice on love, relationships, health, y más? I'm so excited to share with you that my Chiquis and Chill podcast will have an extra episode drop each week. I'll be answering all your questions. Just leave me a voice message con todas tus preguntas y yo te las voy a contestar personalmente. All you have to do is go to speakpipe.com/Chiquis and Chill podcast and record your questions. I can't wait to hear from you. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast, and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.